What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to Buzzing with Marlowe, live. I hope everybody's doing well. Happy Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. This is a special episode today. Guys, if you are new to the channel, please make sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay in contact with all our platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, all those social media handles. We're there. Just type in at Buzzing with Marlowe. I am sure you'll find those two fists somewhere. And also, guys, you can catch us on all audio platforms, just to name a few: Podcast, Podbean, Podchaser, Spotify, Anchor, Buzzsprout, Podbean. Let's keep it going. All Apple. We 13 different platforms just from Apple, but we're big on Good Pods. Shout out to Good Pods. Right now, we are number 2 on Independent Wrestling Pro podcast from the top 100, and also number 84 in the top indie podcasts. So, man, round of applause to y'all. I couldn't be doing it with, man. I'm excited about today, guys. Today is going to be a very, very educational episode, guys. As you know, I bring y'all motivational speakers, musicians, singers, actors, actresses. I mean, you name it. I've got somebody in the healthcare program, man, in the health program that is going to be tackling on finding things to help you with longevity in your body, finding out healthy things for your body that you probably don't even know about, and some that even doctors don't inform you on. So, guys, I'm not going to waste any more time. I know this is the second episode of Buzzing with Marlowe that you have seen this week. Right now, this is this is the second to the triple header of Buzzing with Marlowe on for 3 days straight. Obviously, our episode tomorrow with the lovely, I mean, oh my gosh, I'm excited about that episode as well. Also, because I, as a parent, I have a big struggle talking about, teaching my kids how to swim. And man, I'm telling you right now, tomorrow's episode, if you have that same problem, and some that even don't even know like some of the right ways to teaching your kids how to swim, I've got my guest tomorrow. She is going to be on here, and we're going to chat about how the preventives of the goods and the bads of how to swim. But that's tomorrow. This is tonight. That's right, guys. Tonight's episode, I've got the one, the only, Gregory Hall. Gregory Hall. This man's going to teach you the rights, the goods, and what you need for your body. Guys, I can't tell you anymore. So, guys, I'm not going to waste any more time. When the countdown goes to 30-1, I will be joined with Gregory Hall. And ladies and gentlemen, that countdown starts in 3, 2, 1, right now. Guys, I'm joined with Gregory Hall. How you doing, man?
Hey guys, I'm great. I'm glad to be here and to show you what's
Man,
going on.
I love the dress code you got. You got me looking rough over here. I'm like, dang, I'm like underdressed over here. I'm over here rocking a gym sleeve and all this, and my man over here rocking a business suit. Like, oh man.
Being a practitioner, sometimes you have to wear that hospital garb, but I gotta
dress the part. Why not, right?
Gotta dress up so you can listen. Maybe some ladies watching.
Hey, there you go.
Sure, come to my gym.
We got 2 points you trying to do. You trying to preach on about health, and you trying to get some ladies over here. All right, I got you.
Well, I was born in a women's college hospital on Women's International Day, so I know how to impress.
I love it, man. So, Gregory, where are you currently at, man?
Yeah, I'm in Toronto, Canada. I was born and raised here, as I said, in the Women's College Hospital. So, yeah, I know what it's like to, deal with lots of women.
Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That means you know the good rights to how to treat a lady. I I would say I know how to treat a lady somewhat, but I mean I am married and my wife might say differently. I don't know. You never know anymore now these days. But I mean, hey, we're married. That's all that matters, right? They
Hey,
ring
man,
us. That's it.
married or not, we still gotta all treat them
Exactly.
with the best respect, you know.
I agree. I agree with you, man. So Gregory, if nobody knows who you are, man, let us know.
So yeah, I'm Gregory Hall, and basically, I was over 300 pounds at one point in my life, and for about almost 30 years, I seen over 30 specialists, undiagnosed, and I was basically got lots of surgeries on my knees, biopsies, medications, and nobody really wanted to find out exactly what was going on. And I
Hmm.
even end up going to a surgeon and threatening the surgeon with a gun, just trying to get an MRI because he didn't believe me. And after the MRI, he was like, "Oh, we're gonna schedule you for surgery." But now that I know what I know, it's like, man, why did I do that surgery? Because it really didn't do much for me. I was ended up in a wheelchair for for a month, and I climbed myself out of that. But yeah, like I was in pain. I couldn't work. Basically lost my family because they didn't really believe in my illness or pain. And, now I'm just trying to bring it forward because I unlocked what doctors couldn't tell me, specialists couldn't tell me. I was in, the hospital twice on two occasions, and I had doctors scratching over my head coming out of retirement, and they still couldn't help me. And now that I figure out that self care is better than health care, it's like, bam, like these doctors went to school for over 7 years and they still don't even know basic nutrition, much less what's going on in the body. It's
Hmm.
really crazy, man.
Oh, man, I've been wanting to find an episode of this because I have seen so many different things when it regards to something like this. Um, we I preached so many times like I'm not a man that takes medicine a lot. I take supplements, but I mean obviously the purpose of the supplements, which we know the goods and the bads of the supplements as well. And the craziest thing is, and I learned that some of the supplements that I've always thought were really good to take were not always the best things to take as well. Yeah, like you're like your body in ways too. So like that was an interesting thing as well. We got what's up, Jadis? How you doing, man?
Hey, Jadis. Yeah, man. But
I love
basically,
it.
I'm gonna tell you a little bit like how I went from 300 pounds and hopeless to basically getting on track and finding it out.
So
And
what made
yeah,
you want to make that change? Like you just said you were 300 pounds. Like what made you really want to just make that epic change? Because we have so many people. We're in that year right now. I think we might have slowed down on the New Year's resolution. Hey, I want to lose weight. I'm pretty sure the gym went from 100 capacity to maybe 45% capacity. Who only knows? But what made you really want to make that drastic change?
well, losing your apartment, your condo, losing your car, losing your wife, losing your kids. I think those are very powerful things that the next is going to be your life. Like you don't have a life. You go around and you see people out enjoying themselves, and you're basically stuck in a holding pattern. And I really started to look for different alternative ways of getting myself back on track. When you start to enlighten yourself, when you actually wake up, I say I bring woke healthcare because a lot of people woke up yesterday, but they still really don't know what's going inside their body. So are you really awake? So that's why I'm bringing woke healthcare. And losing all of those things doesn't mean that I couldn't have more of those things, because you see I'm married now, I'm remarried, right? But really and truthfully, everything that you want to learn is already in here. We just been deceived for so long to go down a certain path. Like as soon as you get out of your mom's womb, out of the hole, the first person that holds you is the person that's going to want to do surgeries and basically give you all the medications, because that's what keeps his maid going, his $100,000 car in the parking lot,
Mhm.
and his nice home. Like, don't get it wrong. There's
Oh,
always a
you are preaching this. I don't mean to cut you off, but
yeah.
I have heard numerous things about that situation. And I have family members that are in the medical field and they got defensive when it regards this. But I have been very adamant to hear about this because when people say that you have cancer or something like that, first thing they're looking at is chemo. And the doctors are they're going to recommend you to have chemo because that is a big payday for them. And I'm I'm not lying when I say that, am I?
Just put it this way. My grandmother, she was Jamaican. She loves Jamaica. She was there enjoying herself. But for whatever environmental reason, she developed breast cancer. And I remember that they brought her down to Maryland to get cancer treatment. And I drove down from Toronto to meet her. And not too long after that, we're at her funeral in Jamaica. And I don't think that should happen to my grandmother. I don't think that should happen to anybody's grandmother, sons, daughters. And in Canada, the Canadian Cancer Society has a thing out that one one out of two people is going to be diagnosed with cancer, and one out of four of us is actually going to die from it. So, I mean, just the person next to you every day could be with cancer or me, and if you're bringing two more people, one out of them is going to die. I mean, come on, that doesn't make any sense. When if you riding a bicycle and you fall off the bicycle, you go to the hospital because you maybe broke your leg. They don't heal your leg. They just put a cast on it and tell you to come back in 6 to 8 weeks. And if you're lucky, you might even get some pain medication so they can keep you hooked. But the body has its own inner healing system. Like, I don't know how religious you are, but I believe that the maker, the one that made us, put everything it needs for the body to heal itself, right? You go to the gym and you work out and you tear those muscles, right? You didn't call the doctor to say, can you stitch up my muscles? No, you did, you rested for a little bit, it healed, and now you're like, it's really simple health, and we don't take the time to actually figure out exactly what we need. Like, say for
Mhm.
example, you work out today and tomorrow you got some DOM, some delayed onset muscle soreness. The best thing you can do is increase the tissue oxygen in the body so you have more oxygen going to the muscles for it to heal itself. I mean,
Mhm.
you would think that, it would be common knowledge, but it's not. Um,
Right.
the biggest thing for me personally is getting out of the way of myself. Like, I started to eat a little bit better. I remember with my first marriage, maybe 3, 4 nights a week would be eating out. So you're not getting the proper nutrition.
Mhm.
Stress plays a factor. Trauma plays a factor. Not being hydrated enough. Drinking lots of sugar laden pop and stuff like that. And I even found that later on that energy drinks
Call
is
me out, man. I got like 5 bottles right here. I try to make sure so I don't have to get up at all.
they're like really bad. Like, the only thing I drink now is medical water, right?
What do you
But
mean by medical water?
yeah, it's basically molecular hydrogen that goes into the water, and where bodies are electric,
Hmm.
and what it does, it hydrates the cells, it makes it alkaline, and it doesn't heal you, but it puts your body
So
at the
so
proper
so so what's the
pH.
difference with so when you say medical water and stuff like that? So what's the difference between that water from what we're drinking? Like, because we've heard numerous rumors about pH levels really low in a lot of waters that people are thinking that everything's the same because we're thinking it's obviously a drinking water because they wouldn't give you that from a store. And a store when regarding a warehouse scenario. So I see some of this stuff and we talk about this very vaguely and stuff like that. But what is the difference between, and how do you get medical water? I'm really curious because I've never heard the term medical water.
So I'm probably going a little bit forward in my story, but I'll just put it to you straight. This is
It
not
depends
supposed
on
to
the sugar.
diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease in case there's anybody watching. But the scientists went out to the Himalayan mountains. On the Himalayan mountains, there's a frozen glacier that's been there for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
When they tested the water, the first property was that it was rich in antioxidants.
Okay.
The second property was that it was alkaline.
Mm-hmm.
The third property was that it penetrated the cells more easily than the water that we're drinking. So
Really?
we've been
Okay.
deceived by so much things in our environment, right? When you start pissing and defecating into the water and putting chemicals from the industry, you're polluting the water. When you
Right.
start putting
Yes.
water in plastic and you got those chemicals leaching out, no wonder we have all these young girls that are being born, not being born, but yeah, some born with defects, but developing too early.
Mm-hmm.
And all these things in the water, but especially from your pipes, which goes into the bottles, they put a
Right.
chemical that helps the pipes from not rusting. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I need any of that in my body. So my medical water machine, what it does, it mimics that same water that comes off the Himalayan mountains.
Mm-hmm.
What it does, it puts electricity in the water, and that's what makes the antioxidants. We call it molecular hydrogen,
Right.
and it makes the water alkaline. And the reason why you want to drink alkaline water from the machine, not from the bottle at the store, is because my machine makes it alkaline with electricity, not with minerals. When you use minerals, it basically damages the kidneys, right?
Really?
And,
Okay.
and when you hydrate the body quicker to get to the cells, the mitochondria are like, yeah, let's go, because the mitochondria is the engine inside the cell
Mm-hmm.
and it does its own thing. You need to feed it. It's just like your car. When you get your brand
Yep.
new car, you got a manual. We should be getting a manual with our bodies, but we're not.
Oh, you need to preach on that. I talk about that very vaguely. Like, I I understand a lot of people. If you're comfortable in your body, you're comfortable. But it's the difference between just taking care of yourself and then letting yourself go. And I really speak on that a lot because I mean, yes, you can get in shape and stuff with not eating the greatest things in the world. It's just you have to portion it. I've done it for so long. I mean, now my age now I'm actually having to clean up a lot of the eating that I used to have just because obviously I am getting a little bit older and the way I used to lift cannot be always the way I lift now. I mean, obviously I'm lifting a little bit heavier now since I'm trying to get back in a ring type scenario. So obviously I got to get back into that mindset. But other than that, I obviously my focus is putting on weight. So obviously I do have to eat a good amount, but I still have to watch the calorie intake that I take. Like for you to say regarding with the water stuff, like that is mind blowing because we're all thinking water is water. We're thinking that we're okay when we're drinking water. Like it doesn't matter with this side, it doesn't matter with all that. Yeah, go. Yeah, Lord have mercy. But
It's
it's just the fact that like, yeah, see that daddy life right here. But that is really cool when you talk about like with minerals and stuff like that. So what are the minerals that we really need to watch when it's regarding the water that we're
Well, for water specifically, the minerals you really need to be watching is sodium, because if you don't have enough sodium in the body, it's going to be hard to get that water in.
which is
But
hard
other
to believe because there's sodium in so many things.
What's the wrong kind of sodium? It's that regular salt, table salt,
Right.
iodinized salt, and the best salt. I mean, the salt that I use with my supplement company is Himalayan pink salt, but
Yep.
that's kind of substandard. What they
Hmm.
actually do is they put volcanic ash with the salt. And if you ever seen a volcano flow, it destroys everything. Come back in a few years and it's it's
Yeah,
growing
yeah, yeah.
again, right? Nobody does anything. But the biggest thing was I never knew that water was a thing. But 3 years ago, I really dived into my wellness journey. I started to eat more spinach, and I was eating
Oh,
less red meat.
I
I
hate
was,
spinach.
eating more chicken breasts.
Mhm.
Um, I was drinking more water. I started actually. I had a gym membership before, but I was actually starting to go to the gym. I
Mhm.
switched. I switched to LA Fitness because it had the pool and it had the sauna.
that
So,
that sells everybody right there.
having the pool in the sauna, especially at 300 pounds, is huge
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
going in the sauna, you can detoxify quickly, you can drop weight quickly without having to have saggy skin. And on those sore days, you can just go into the saltwater
Yeah.
pool and do your thing, right? But I was doing good for a year, and
So how much
year
water were
in,
you putting in your body a day?
well, back then I wasn't really paying attention.
Uh-huh.
I was pretty much blinded like everybody else. I got one of those little small fridges and I loaded up with Costco water. I loaded it up with energy drinks, and I put in sparkling Perrier water. And I
Mhm.
had my fridge, and then you could probably check on my Facebook somewhere. You'll see I was so proud. Like, I'm drinking more water, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Yes, I was seeing a better result, less pain. But until I figured out what happened a year later, that fridge is plugged out. I don't have anything
Right.
in there anymore.
So
But yeah,
what Jadis is asking is what you're kind of referring to with the water. He's asking if it's the filtered water.
so it is filtered. The machine has a filter in it, but the machine is basically made in Japan, and
Okay.
it has a medical designation in Japan. So
Okay.
I went and I got married in September, and I actually unhooked the machine from my counter, put it in my suitcase, and I brought it with me.
Mhm.
Also, you know that there's a restriction on the liquids you can bring on the plane.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I had big bottles of water, 4 liters, 2 liters. I had lots of them, and I brought them to the customs, and they're like, "Oh, what's this? You can't bring this." I just showed the medical designation, and they had no other choice but to let me onto the plane with it. Um,
Really? Okay. I've
when I
never
say
heard that.
when I say it's medical water, like everything that I touch, I'm a natural health coach now. Anything that I touch, I always look for the best of the best of the best. If it's mediocre, you ain't gonna see me using it straight.
So I do before we go to commercial break. I want to talk about like energy drinks and stuff because that is like a big source in drinks nowadays. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I do drink energy drinks off and on. I'm not like constantly on it like I used to when I first started working at the job that I had. Obviously, that was coffee for everybody. So, um, I never was really big on Red Bull or Monster or anything like that. I would always drink like like the ones that we get like at Vitamin Shop and stuff like that. Like the
Yeah,
fitness type drinks that we get.
yeah.
The ones that have the BCAAs and stuff like that. How true are those drinks that when they say they got the alpha aminos, the essentials and stuff like that, and the vitamin C and stuff like that? How true are some of those energy drinks?
You know what? I don't want to get sued, so all of them I can't say exactly what's in their formulations, but I'll tell you this much: when I go down to the aisle after learning what I learned from my professor through a quantum scan, um, I start looking at the labels,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really care what is in the formulation. If it's chemicals, definitely I care. But the first thing I look for is it medical water? Because even fruit juice, you go down to the grocery aisle, it's got filtered water in it, and it's the filtered bad water. So I know that the medical water, if you put it into a container, it's not going to last more than 2 3 days. The antioxidants.
Really?
So just put it this way: Yeah, I'm gonna tell you straight. I try to avoid pretty much everything these days, especially carbonated drinks. So
And
if you
that's
have
like the
any,
biggest source nowadays. Is like a
yeah,
lot, like everyone's got like a drink nowadays.
if you have anything that's carbonated and it's supposed to be healthy, the carbonation is actually making you acidic. And if you're not keeping your body between 6.4 and 7 pH, you might be cut, you might look big, but I can show you just through your voice that nothing is as it seems.
Oh man. Okay. Guys, like I said, you don't want to miss this. So, guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. And with Gregory Hall, he's got slides, he's got some video info. We're going to see some examples and stuff. Like, don't go anywhere anymore. We're going to have a great chat. Wow. I'm a little speechless on some of this. But, guys,
Before you go out to the break, I see a question there. Gatorade? No, but we'll tell you after the break.
you're gonna hurt some feelings. I mean,
Yeah.
there is some things I would say regarding with Gatorade. I remember when I was young, obviously I see Gatorade, I'm thinking all the athletes are drinking it, so it's a health drink. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what the market tried to make you think of. Like everybody has drank a Gatorade before in their life. If you have, smart move, I guess. You got cheated by something and somebody told you the right thing compared to all of us, but everybody's basically drinking Gatorade. But I'm looking forward to that. So guys, stay tuned. We're coming back when we get back from this break. We'll be joined with Gregory Hall.
With Batsy. It was just last night, as the entire country was tuning into its favorite talk show.
Kill you simply makes you a stranger.
VMAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Don't even know why I'm watching, cause it ain't funny when you ain't here. But I know you're going away, so I'm watching so we can stay here. I heard you trying to protect myself. I ain't making excuses, I'm just letting you know I understand why you live. It was toxic, bad for your health. You trying so hard to love me, but I really couldn't love myself. I needed your patience, baby, with times of whole time I really felt like I wasn't enough. Didn't just cause I can stomach the fact. After all that we've been through, my baby's not coming back. I swear that I'll go down crying while I'm riding this track. I swear that I'll go down crying while I'm riding this track. Y'all know the words of this. Day one popped out, ain't nobody in this motherfucker fly to me. These bitches all in my DM, texting them back was good, but I ain't really trying to see them.
He said he accepted, and you know what? Nobody wants to see it because nobody remembers the American prodigy. All this history, and nobody cares. But if you could find one, that's all I'm asking. If you could find one promotion that wants to put this on, I'll be there. I will be. There's no running. There's no running. Not at all. I will be there. Right in the center of the ring. You versus me. And then when I beat you, you'll understand that maybe wrestling wasn't for you. Maybe this is a good new career change. You're a podcaster. You're an influencer, social media.
What's up? Florida, weighing 238 pounds.
All right, guys, we are back. All right. I think we had one comment, and he was really about Gatorade. Can you explain that?
So
he really wanted to know about the Gatorade. Apparently, that's one of his favorite drinks.
So let me just backtrack a little bit, but I'm gonna let him know about the Gatorade in a second. Okay. So as I said, I started my journey really kicking it into high gear after almost 30 years of getting healthy. And a year into the journey, I ended up going to the gym, and I was like, you know what? I want to get to my goal a little bit faster. And I started working out at the gym even harder, having Gatorade and Powerades and waters in my fridge that I was using. I was losing weight. But anyways, I went to the gym and I worked out even harder than I normally do. And I was in pain for 9 days straight. I could not work. And I ended up reaching out to my ex-wife's sister, and she put me on towards uh, alternative healing doctor. And when I went to his home office, in 3 minutes, using a quantum device, just with my voice, he showed me everything that was going on in my body. This device wasn't made to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease, but the three main things that showed up into the device was too much protein, not enough water. So the water that I was drinking, which was a lot, my fridge was always stacked, wasn't enough. And ta-da, I wasn't getting enough oxygen to my brain, and I was sitting there breathing. Yeah, there was more stuff, but right from this educational scan, it told me everything that nobody could really tell me about. So I was already drinking the Gatorades, okay, because I was having muscle spasms. I don't know if you can see my hand. This is muscle right here. This is all muscle, okay? This is a sign of too much protein. And I would have muscle spasms all the time. I would think, oh, I need more magnesium, I need more
Yes.
sodium, and I would be
Mhm.
taking all of those things, but I was putting garbage into my body. The
Mhm.
water was garbage, it wasn't hydrating me. The Gatorade that had the electrolytes
Mhm.
wasn't hydrating me. And in 45 minutes of being at that man's office, I did some infrared treatment, some kinesiology, opening up some pathways. But I was drinking his medical water. He had the medical water machine there. And when I was there, his rep came in to bring his water machine to go get cleaned. And she was like, I heard about you, and you wouldn't mind coming to my house for a demonstration. So I went to her home for a demonstration, and she laid out all of the drinks that are basically that people drink that's on the market. She laid out the pops, she laid out the Gatorades, she laid out 10 different types of water, Avion water,
Really?
alkaline water, and she started to test all of them. Okay. And the first two bad ones, okay, was the pop.
The
Okay.
soda. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The pop, I mean, it should have been a no-brainer, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
took me a little bit of time to get woke. Okay. But I was like, yeah, pop, I don't drink that no more. I drink
Mhm.
Perrier water and I drink Gatorade. Oh, we have that here too. She tests she tests the Gatorade. The Gatorade's acidic, especially with all the additives like the fructose and sugars that they might put in. Garbage. It's just bringing your body down. Um, oh
Does that
yeah,
include like sugar-free Gatorade as well? Because I know sugar-free has been like a big new thing now for like all drinks. So is that really a positive with all that?
listen, your body was made to run off of water. From your breast down is 85% water. Your
Mm-hmm.
brain alone is 85% water.
Mm-hmm.
So really realistically, when they tested the body and seen what kind of minerals it needs,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't what they're putting in the bottle. It definitely wasn't. So, as I said, if we get out of the way of the body and give it what it needs, it's gonna like open up, like it's gonna open up everything. Like if you're working out and you actually get rid of some of the stuff and you listen to me, you actually might see an improvement on your muscles. Doesn't matter how old you are. We've been deceived that the older you get, the body won't perform the to its best
See,
ability.
I believe that's false completely. I've had a saying that it's stuck to me very well. It's like the longer you don't take care of yourself, the worse it's going to be. You're going to suffer instead of living when you get older. And that struck me in a different way because I've noticed this now, this generation now, like the elder people are more active than the younger audience nowadays, and they look phenomenally way better than some of the younger people nowadays. It's just the fact that they don't just sit around and not do anything, or not go to the gym. I'm not preaching we always got to go to the
Yeah.
gym. I'm not always saying that. Just get up and be active. Like I saw something when you were talking about like your body needs a certain amount of vitamin D a day and stuff, like for your body to produce, basically to promote and get yourself healthy. So I do want to tackle on like the water part. The water part is definitely striking me in all kinds of ways. So how come, even if the water is bad, how come it still kind of presents itself like it's still good for us? Because obviously us, even if we're drinking this wrong water that's being claimed, like how come it's still showing like somewhat results like how we're doing? Is it kind of like how, say, like if you were in the gym and you do a bad form, yes, it shows improvement, but you like you said, you start getting those problems, your arms start hurting and stuff like that. So why does that water kind of like psych us a little bit?
So your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
It needs substance to survive. So we're fearfully made. We have kidneys that filter out a whole bunch of other things into the water.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take whatever it can from that water. But once you put bad memory in it, chemicals and all that other foolishness, you're not going to get the results that you want. So if you're just
Mm-hmm.
talking about water and then you bring in other substances like Gatorade, like one of your viewers was saying, and other energy drinks, your body only needs four things to survive. You know, it needs water, it needs potassium, it needs sodium. You know, we really need to just
Is
out,
aminos like a big thing that you need as well?
really and truthfully, what we need is antioxidants, right? It, at the
Oh
end of the
man, I
day,
struck somebody at a vitamin because he was trying to preach that you have to have alpha aminos, like a good intake every single time in your body. And I looked at him and I said, what manual did you read that off of? Because that is so false. It's unreal. And I love when you say stuff like that because I've believed that for so long. But like how you said regarding the water, like it still feels like it's outlet than obviously like us drinking a soda or the energy drinks and stuff like that. So why is it that we've only consumed what is quote unquote the bad water? Like how come we have not, with all the technology and all the things, the resource that we have now in this in the US and just in general, how come we are not making that type of change to get their water into our area?
well, the biggest problem is that when you have
Jadis is getting
multi-billion
struck in
dollar
so many ways.
companies that are selling water, right? It's their bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
When you look onto the TV, you see their ads. When you go into the stores, you see their billboards, right? You have so many different waters out there, everybody claiming certain things, but
Mm-hmm.
are they actually telling you that, oh, this water is straight from the spring? What spring? The spring that's down in Lake Ontario that has most of the polluted water in the world now. We used to have lots of fresh waters, but with industry and chemicals and
Mm-hmm.
whatever else, how good is it? And I hear this question: true pure life water, is it the best in the bottle? The best water, my friend, is the one that's on the Himalayan mountains. And the only thing that I've came across that mimics that water is the water that comes out of my machine. We cannot have any health claims to the water, right? Because these big corporations will sue us.
Mm-hmm.
They have certain people in bed, they've already paid them off. It's just like the FDA and CDC in the last few years,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? You
It's kind of
know,
like how when they say like FD. this stuff, they really don't approve all that stuff.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I've heard through the grapevine that most of the stuff that they approve, they don't allow their families to use. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, knowledge is what is going to drive you to find the right things. And when you have a market crowded with a whole bunch of BS, really what you have to do is look what happened from hundreds of years ago. Look and see the people were used to be living to 900, then they went to 600, and then they went to 200. And right before industry, people were living to 140 years old. Even in the Himalayan mountains, the Hunza people, there's rumors that they're still living to 120 because their food and water hasn't been processed and into the environment that we have. So we really have to take advantage of what has happened before. And when you realize what's happened before, you have to find the right things that mimic what ancient people used to do. And me being a practitioner and figuring out everything from a voice scan, uh, it's basically catapulted me to this spot so I can tell you guys, you know what? You really need to find the right practitioner to let you know what the doctors ain't telling you. Because guess what? All they really want to do is keep you sick. If you're healthy, there ain't gonna be no need for them. You know what I mean? If they actually knew proper nutrition and they taught you proper nutrition, would you be going back there? I don't think so. So the best thing that you can do is find somebody like me, you know, do a quantum scan with your voice. So it actually will tell you everything from your emotions. It will tell you everything about your nutrition. It can even educate you right down to your DNA, your mitochondria, the same things that we're trying to boost up with the water and the minerals and the supplements. Like when I first started on my journey, a little bit off the water, I was on these supplements, as you said, like we don't know which ones are good or bad, but they had stabilizers in it, chemicals, and they had colors in it, which is bad for the body. And I didn't know at the time. I was starting to lose the weight. I was feeling,
It psychs
feeling
you. Yeah.
good, right?
Hmm.
It's not really psychs; it's deceiving you. But one day I decided to do a fast. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a fast. I want to lose, a little bit of weight and clear up the digestion. And I started to take the supplements, and I'm on the road and I'm vomiting in front of the people I'm trying to sell the supplements to. And they're like, oh, you drank last night. I said, buddy, I don't even drink because the alcohol is so acidic. Everything you're doing naturally healthy in your body is counteracting that. And I felt ashamed saying, it's the supplements that made me throw up. And that day, I stopped using that supplement company for supplements. I might use them for detergents and stuff, but I only use Premier Research Labs now because all their supplements are made from food. There's no chemicals. It's mostly liquid, fermented vitamins, kosher. But it's not only the water we got to be looking at. We got to be looking at everything. I mean, some people, um, their financial situation might not allow them to dive right into everything. But when you slowly start to see with your voice what's going on in the body, then you can slowly start to change what's going on with your nutrition, with your water, with your mental health, and everything is going to come into play. I mean, it's the manual is right inside of you.
So sorry. So all can build up to basically that big process. It's kind of like how what we were referencing off the camera. Like our body's like a car. We fuel it with the right minerals. The longevity of the car will last. Obviously, you know how we have different type of gas. Most of the times, some of the gas that we use is not the best thing to put for our cars, and that's where we get the wear and the tear of the stuff on that stuff. So I love when you approach stuff like that. So when you say we got to look for the right practitioner, that doctors won't just focus on just keeping you to be sick. How are you able to research that to to find the right person per se.
So for me, unlocking being not be able to work for 9 days, and then because of my history, the doctor says, you know what, just sit at home for a month and call me back, and then we'll see if you're ready to work. Buddy, I'm in pain for one. Number two, I want the pain to go away. Second, and third, I want to get back to the gym so I can get back on my journey.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And me actually going to see a holistic alternative doctor that had a quantum machine was huge, because in 3 minutes just using my voice, and now I can do it even less than that because I'm a practitioner now too. You really have to be looking at other than the physical body. I mean, you look very healthy, but I'm telling you, using your voice like a lie detector is going to show a lot more than the doctor has, because the doctor don't have the same technology. And if he does know about it, his
He's gonna
college
find
is
a way to change
probably
it to make you
his,
keep
his
going.
college is keeping his mouth shut,
Yep.
and won't allow you to tell it. Why? Because if you're healthy, why would you have to go back? Right? I'm not saying there's not a need for a doctor, but I check myself first thing and I wake up with my cell phone. I use my cell phone to see what's going on in my body.
How
And
do
the
you do that?
yeah. So basically, your body is an electrical system. So they figured out that your body has its inert own biofield, and your biofield comes 1 inch from your body. So with using a quantum device, it can educate you on pretty much everything in the body. It's basically exactly like a CT scan. If you go to the
Really?
doctor, like you feel ill today, or you pull a muscle at the gym, the next day you're gonna take off work, you're gonna go to the doctor. He's gonna take a blood test, or you're gonna send you for a scan. You're gonna have to wait a couple of days if it's not in the hospital, and
Yeah.
then you're gonna get the results.
Probably
But
get you
soon as
one a
you
prescription and just be on your way.
but soon as you withdraw the blood from the body, it oxidizes, it reaches oxygen. You lose 40% of the memory.
Really?
Yes, you lose 40% of the memory. And you're trying to see what's going on with the blood, and the blood is no longer in the body.
Ooh, man. Okay.
So when you actually go past the physical, what you can see, and you can actually basically put your socket into the electrical system in the body.
To charge your
The
body. Yeah.
electrical system is real time. I can see my body real time. If I have an owie right now, it'll take me 2 seconds. I just turn on my cell phone. All you have to do is have an internet-based program. The company does have their own cell phone and laptop that has less interference. But yeah, I can scan somebody in person, and I can scan them remotely with this educational device. And that's how easy it is. And this has been around for a long time. Really, it sounds new, but it used to be in a $30,000 computer, and they managed to put it into a cell phone laptop format. And right now we're just trying to educate people about self-care instead of healthcare.
Hey, wow. I don't know what else to say on that.
Well, I gave you a little video. I don't know if
Yeah. Yeah,
if you want
guys,
to
we're
pull it
gonna
up.
we're
It
gonna
tells a
check this
little
thing
bit
out.
about it.
It was the first video that you wanted, correct?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna play or not. But I guess while Marlowe's trying to get it playing, I think he's a little bit frozen. Basically, what it does is use your voice as a lie detector. and you speak into the voice for 10 seconds, and it will let you know exactly what is going on in the body just using the voice. So your voice has frequencies, just like music. It picks up those frequencies and it puts them with um, color notes, and it lets you know exactly what you have to do to fix or see what's going on with your emotions. It gives you potential emotional causes, physical causes, vital causes. It tells you what the imbalances are, and it gives you suggestions how to fix it. And it's really groundbreaking technology.
All right.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right. Some reason it's not working. Hold on. Let's see what this thing is. All right. Okay. Maybe we got to redo it. I don't know. Let's see. Let's refresh it. There we go. It should work now. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I got a little time to explain it while you're fixing it up there.
Is it showing up now?
It's still us. I think you gotta switch the screen.
Oh yeah, dadgummit. Good look.
So yeah, it talks about your thoughts, emotions, your well-being. It's called the inner voice scan.
Learn more about inner voice by tapping the question mark icon on the top right corner of your device. Are you ready to run an inner voice scan? Let's go. Tap the microphone button here to record your voice if you'd like to just do an inner voice scan. Tap this button if you'd like to do an inner and vital scan. You'll want to start by saying, I am, followed by your first and last name, and continue talking about anything you'd like for 10 seconds. Now your report has been generated. Put on some headphones or earbuds and tap Balancing Harmonics to listen to your tones and bring your body into balance. Please remember, your reports are private and we do not save them. If you would like to keep them, tap on the Reports button to see your connected account email. One last thing. Towards the bottom, you will see the 4 notes which are out of balance for you at the time of your scan. To strengthen your results, use the recommended colored Lightwave glasses. Our proprietary Lightwave glasses come in 12 colors, and each carries its own benefits. We are so excited for you inner voice and immediately benefit from this incredible technology. Want more information? Tap on the question mark button to read all about inner voice.
Yeah. Beat me up, Scotty. But it's not as I said, it's not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease. But I saw there was a question from Linda. She was saying, how am I helping people? And with that scan, I helped the local hospital find a brain tumor with my wife's head, a little testimonial. And, just balancing with the frequencies to optimize the emotions can get you set up for the gym, can get you set up for work, school. You shouldn't be doing it while you're driving. But yeah, the app that tracks calories. I have another quantum device that
Is he talking about the MyFitnessPal? I think is that the one he's talking about, the calorie counter thing.
I think
I
calorie
use that
counter,
one.
but for me personally, the calorie counter is probably good to learn at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but you should listen to your body for what it needs. And using the AOScan mobile device will show you a lot more than that calorie counter. And I do have another quantum device if somebody wants to see me in person or if they want to buy it and they can have it for themselves. Tell you a little bit more about calorie counting. It'll tell you about your BMI, and a whole bunch of other things that we really need to be knowing, but we don't have access to. Well, I do, and some of my clients do. But anybody that's
Do you
listening
have
to,
another video that you want to play on, like regarding on that on the website that you have?
well,
Is there any particular one?
I'm gonna leave a little bit of mystery to it. You can show
Okay.
my website, but if anybody is really interested, I offer a free consultation to anybody
This is what
that's
he's
in.
talking about, guys.
Yeah,
Is consultation. You fill this out, and he can contact you just like it is right here, guys. Y'all can put your first name, your last name. For an example, I'll go ahead and put myself in just like this: first, last name, your birth date, obviously, your weight, your email, and obviously your height. And it says inner voice 10-second voice note. After that, say your name, whatever else, the Bible verse, stuff like that, just for an example. And it says choose file to drop here. And he will literally respond to you and show you those results like he's telling you right now. And he's giving it out right now, guys, literally to y'all listeners for free. This is definitely a very good offer. And I've been seeing the comments. I've been seeing the chat right now. People are really shocked about the Gatorade ordeal, the Gatorade, the waters. I'm shocked about water because obviously it's crazy how water, we think of water as water. Like there's nothing different with it. And I've been told about pink Himalayan salt. I was told that in college. When I was out in school, and they were very adamant about that type of water than obviously, just the big. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen the YouTube video where they test the pH level in all these certain water.
yeah, I think he froze up there, but yeah, the water is definitely something that we really need to be more educated about. If you're working out right now and you definitely want to bring your workout and your physique and try to live past 101 without anybody changing your diaper, uh, yeah, you really need to contact me and I'll let you know all about the water. But what we should be looking for with the water is making sure that it's got electricity in it, molecular hydrogen, because that water is going to blow up your Gatorade and your energy drinks, and flavoring it with some lemon, some turmeric, or even some just nice raw Canadian honey with some lemon is way more healthier than what you've been up. Yogurts, you really should be using Greek yogurt. That's the only one that I recommend. But if you go onto my website and do the Wellness IQ, there's a free tips on what you should be eating and what you shouldn't be eating.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
The only downfall when you do the long streams, obviously, it's going to bound to happen occasionally.
Yeah.
But I do love the fact that Jadis was just talking about with the yogurts.
Yeah.
I've never been a full fan of yogurt, but Greek yogurt I've gotten amazed with. Like when I did eating thing that I did for 8 months straight. Like this tells you how new I was to this ordeal. I think I told you this before. When we were first chatting was for 8 months straight I did nothing but chicken and rice. Chicken and rice, and breakfast and my snack was oatmeal. Yeah. My pleasure of the eating plan that I had was I would get to use hot sauce on my dinner time for the chicken and rice.
Yeah.
That was what I look forward to for that 8 months. I looked ridiculously amazing, but it was like this was like in my 20s. So literally like it was so easy to burn. Obviously, rice is a very good carbohydrate to burn off quick. And that's something that people don't realize. White rice is better than the brown rice. And that's funny. Like, it's so crazy, like how the stuff that we've been preached for so long at a younger age, like, salad is the number one nutrition for weight loss, which I'm not saying I'm against it, but there is certain ways of salad to be a good way. And then there's obviously bad ways of salad as well. Like, it's just so crazy how we see the reverse of everything that we believe that's healthy. And we also find out there is a bad thing with it as well. Because like how we say, with energy drinks now are supposed to be healthy for you because they're sugar free. And that's something that a lot of resources think is, because it's sugar free, it's healthy now. And that's the same thing, like, with Coke, Pepsi, and all of them now, they're believing, like my wife and my mom, they love Coke Zero, or Pepsi Max, Pepsi Max. Yeah. I know a lot of people talk about they got their weight loss program, but they got to have they got one Pepsi or something like that, but it's the Pepsi Max because it's 0 caffeine and 0 sugar. So they believe it's healthy. And I tell them, I'm like, regardless, it's bad. But if you want it, that's your body. That's your choice. But I love how we're in this reality now that there's so many ways to research stuff and we still fail to pursue it. Like, I would think this would be the number one thing you want to research because this is your body. This is something that you don't get a new body. Why not keep that body up and fresh as long as you can and be proud of the achievements that you get to accomplish with this? Like, my age right now, I'm 31 years old. I don't feel like I'm in my 30s. Like, I feel like, obviously there's some ways I've seen, like, sports performance wise and stuff. Like, I could tell, like, I've slowed down a little bit on some things, but that's bound to happen. That's the downfall of getting older. But you could still take control of how you are taking care of your body. Like, say, like, I like to play flag football. I love to work out. If I want to continue those things, I need to change some of the stuff that I've done. Like, I used to say all the time, I work out because I eat bad. Now I've cleaned out my eating so much this go around, especially since I have announced that I was coming back in a ring. I have changed my eating habits insanely. Like, I'm not downing like burgers and stuff like that just to get my calories anymore. Like, and I've realized I enjoy this way more because I get to eat more, because obviously there's not that many calories in the food. You can down so much more food that way. Like, I used to be against like vegetarian stuff like that and stuff like the keto and all that. I love now. I never thought I would like it, but I love cauliflower wings and stuff like that. It's such a good substance for your body. And you can eat so much of it because guess what? It's so small in calories, because they tell you want to fuel your body. You want to eat a big amount. If you're wanting to get big, you got to eat a lot. So, all right. So if I want to eat cauliflower wings, guess what? I can eat like 2 or 3 bowls full of that stuff because that's not really even that many calories. Like, so many different ways of changing your habits, and it makes a huge, drastic impact to your body. And I love that.
I'm going to tell you straight, like, I'm a health coach and practitioner. And if I told everybody, don't eat this, don't eat that, I probably wouldn't have that much clients. So the way how
that's like personal training, man.
The way how I approach things is, you know what? If you have habits, it's going to be kind of hard to break. Like, when I learned that chicken, if you take bleach to chicken and you wash it and you bring it underneath the microscope, there's still bacteria moving. When I learned that, I decreased my chicken intake. But the way how I deal with the body and I help people really is I show them, you know what? It's okay to have these things every once in a while, but are you actually cleansing the body properly, making sure that the intestines, the enzymes and things are going? Because at the end of the day, like, if you're not increasing the tissue oxygen in the body, you're going to feel like 45 when you're 31. And you can increase it with, vegetables, and you can increase it with water, But if you actually are not checking first thing in the morning, then you would never know. Because if you go to the doctor and take a urine test, that
They'll tell
urine
you you're
test is
good.
not good. It's fake, because what happens is your body starts buffering the urine anyway. So the first time when you wake up in the morning, that's the most important thing you got to do is check that first morning urine pH and make sure it's
Mhm.
between 6.4 and 7. And if it's not, then you can start to curtail what substance you need into the body. Like, I'm not gonna knock a burger because you know I kind of, it was a
You
busy
gotta have it
Sunday,
occasionally, man.
and I
I
had a
I
burger,
joke
but
with people. I say I have a high calorie on Sunday, so
yeah.
I just down anything I see on Sundays.
But yeah, no, it's like I used to watch GI Joe growing up, and I'm taking this to my business. Knowing is half the battle. So you thought you woke up yesterday, but after dealing with me and seeing what I'm doing, I'm pretty sure you're really gonna be woke.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
Yeah.
you've stroked so many different things. Like I'm kind of speechless on some of this stuff. Um, Water for a fact, like it's so crazy, like how we are so consumed with certain types of waters, and we're thinking that it's good for you, and it's a healthy mineral, like it's always around. Like, um, so how like filter water is, even though it's not what we want. So how can you make that water safe? Is there ways that you can put like certain ingredients in some of the waters to make it like similar to the water that you're wanting people
Yeah,
to consume, the medical water and stuff like that?
so with my supplement, not with my supplement, with my AOScan mobile, we're really big on quantum energy. And one way, if not access to my machine, which I believe everybody should have, but one way you can do is actually put negative ions into the water. And
Really?
yeah, you can basically charge up the water so it matches the frequency of your body, and it will help do what it's supposed to do. Um, one another thing that I do with my water is put quarter teaspoon of turmeric, ginger,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
baking soda if you don't have the alkaline. Lemon juice is really big on weight loss. You just put quarter teaspoon of that and just drink it, 2 3 times a day, or make it one big thing and throw a little bit more in. Um, but one main thing is, how do you know that you're not drinking enough? Well, you have to look at your body weight. If you're 100 pounds, you should be drinking half a pound your body weight when you're not working out and when you're not
Mm-hmm.
in a warm climate. If you're working out and you're in a warm climate, especially using the sauna, you got to be 1 ounce per pound of body weight.
Yep.
As I said, like, I try to spread the medical water to everybody, but if you only have what you have, using those tips will definitely get you going. And when you start working out and living in a warm climate, and you start drinking more than your pound of body weight per water, you really have to start putting in the Himalayan salt with the volcanic ash. And if you can't get the volcanic ash, call me, I got it. But Celtic salt is probably better if you can get it off of the at the store. Just have to pay a little bit more, but you got to replace the sodium and make sure that you're rehydrating the cells right to the mitochondria. We call it the ATP. It's kind of like a
I've heard of that. Yep. I've heard of that.
NASCAR saying, right? But
I've heard
yeah,
of that.
it's really important that water, as I said, if your body is like over 90% water, we don't see it on the outside, but you can tell from
You can
using
tell.
the washroom. If you don't have enough water, it's not going to be coming out the way how it's supposed to. But one
So
one one key thing before you cut in, if you're going throughout the day and your urine is staying yellow, you're definitely not drinking enough water.
yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I've there's a funny story with this. So when I was younger, we were watching the second movie of Harry Potter, correct? So I've been drinking water the entire time in this movie theater. So the funny thing is, because Harry Potter is like a witchcraft movie and stuff like that, I thought, and this is how young I was, I didn't go back to watch a Harry Potter movie in theater because I thought it made a spell and made my pee turn clear. Like I freaked out. Like this tells you how much I loved to used to drink soda when I was little. Like my pee was completely clear. I was freaking out. I'm like, is that supposed to happen? And I'm sitting there crying and scared to death. I go tell my dad, I was like, Daddy, I'm peeing water. What is this? He's like, well, you're hydrated. I'm like, what does that mean? I was like, I was freaking out so bad. That was a little funny story, but I love where Jadis is talking about this. But I do want to talk on, when you talked about turmeric. I want to say something, Jadis. I'm going to come back to your question real quick in a sec. But turmeric, and I preach this very adamantly to anyone, especially my wife and stuff, because they live on, medicine and stuff like that. When they have a headache, what's the first thing most people are looking at? A Motrin or a Tylenol. And I tell them, I said, you're killing your body in the longevity standpoint when you're putting these in your body. And I am very, very against all that stuff. Like the only time I ever took a Motrin, and my mom or anybody could be my witness to tell y'all this. Like I tell people all the time, you ever took any drugs? I said, I'm afraid to take Tylenol. Like I am very dead serious when I say this. Like I do not take any type of medicine unless if I really am in the worst pain of my life and I cannot handle it. I need it. Like I had abscess tooth one time. That's the only time I ever had Motrin. Like that was the only time I have ever put anything in my body to just give me a relief around from the pain. Yeah. And turmeric, guys, is a replacement of what you believe Motrin and Tylenol do, but it helps you for a longevity standpoint. It helps you not destroy your body. First of all, you're not putting poison in your body when you're putting turmeric in. And turmeric is in so many different things. It's so easy to get turmeric. And guys, and if you are short on budget, whatever, turmeric is very, very, very cheap. I'm not even going to not even say anything bad about it. Turmeric is a great weight loss mineral. Facts completely. When we talk about, putting lemon in your water and stuff like that, putting turmeric in your water, and what I used to do, and if I'm on a cut season, I will put turmeric in my jug and I'll just consume it through the entire day. And obviously you got your lemon and stuff like that. And for things that people don't look at when they do these things, like I tell people when they do the weight loss, first thing they're looking at is, okay, I need to go on the treadmill. I need to eat nothing but lettuce. I need to eat, all these little things that keeps that minerals down. I said, no, you portion your meals, but you put the right amount in your body. And that's something that people got to learn. You got to learn self-control. The biggest thing I've learned these days, if I'm that day, I'm not the normal amount of calories that I am supposed to consume on my workout days. I'm going to consume 200 less if that's the case. Like it's scary to say sometimes, but I'm going to consume at least 1,000 of that less than what I do every day. Workout days, you're going to try to hit a little bit more above that calorie intake that you're going to try to hit, but you got to hit higher protein. That's the biggest thing that you need to look at the minerals on that. So when you were referring something about your hands, when you're saying you had too much protein, like what that ordeal with that? And like what was the causes of you saying like you have too much protein? Like what was very tough with regarding with your body?
Well, on a regular blood test, my creatinine was off the charts. So that was one way of seeing what was going on. But when your body doesn't metabolize the protein properly, that's one of the results. Really and truthfully, the only way I know that my body's not metabolizing the protein properly is with the quantum scan, because in less than 3 minutes, it just showed me what's going on. But being a practitioner, I just have to tell you straight. If you're not going to lift weights, stay away from the meat. If you
Oh
want to,
my gosh, you
if
are
you
preaching it. You're preaching
if
it. Just
if
keep.
you want to lift the weights, then have your protein. But if you really don't want to work out, you're kicking yourself in the butt because your body doesn't need the protein. Straight.
Oh man, I almost put the solo screen on you for that one. Oh my gosh, you are so great on that. So like what you just said, if you're lifting weights, you definitely need meat in your body. That's something that helps you. Like I have people that sit here and tell me they are vegetarians, vegans, and they go lift weights and they don't look like how I said yes, because you don't have the right substance in your body. I said you really cannot jump muscle weight with just vegetables in your body. You have to have meat. And that's something that I've been told numerous times. And I love when you said that because people, it strikes a nerve in ways with people when they say that. So I love that you said that.
Like
Jadis did say
yeah.
something about with spicy foods. You want to tackle on that?
Yeah, so with the spicy foods, you really have to stay away from as much spicy foods as possible because they're going to mess around with your digestion, right? It's just like with the meat. And I hear what you're saying about the vegetables, but what really is the biggest problem is that if we're not actually seeing what's going on inside the body, then you won't know if the meat's enough or if you need more. And even with the vegetables, right? Everything needs some sort of supplementation. And the biggest thing that I find with my clients is that the food starts to rot from when they put it into their mouth right to their anus. So if you're actually working out and you're eating the meat, which is fine, or the protein, because I try to do vegetarian 3-4 nights a week. Me, I don't knock it down because I got vegetarian clients. But what I see with the quantum scan is we really need to be taking care of the digestion, meaning chewing the
That's the
food
biggest thing.
25 times before you swallow. You got to be making sure that you getting the proper digestive enzymes. You're making sure you're getting the proper hydrochloric acid. You're making sure you're getting the proper water intake to spell out the food. And you have to make sure that the body's actually absorbing the food in the intestines, especially with the SAD American diet, standard American diet. You basically, your intestines are covered. So you go out tomorrow, you've been eating bad all week. You go out tomorrow and get some nice healthy food. Well, guess what? Your body is probably not absorbing that nutrients. It's just like a big waste of time. And I see something about the liver. Turmeric is a spice. It's not as
Yep.
spicy, right? But it's gonna help detoxify your liver.
It helps absorb and
And that's
digest
how you
super
lose
quick.
weight.
Yep.
And it helps.
Also, blueberries. Blueberries is a great substance as well.
First thing in the morning, you don't want to have oats. You have oats, but the first thing that you should be having blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, raspberries. They have less sugar content in it, and it's not going to spike your insulin. If you're going to work out first thing in the morning, then yeah, have your protein after. If you're working
Yep.
out in the evening, yeah, that's you
You
definitely
eat
have to
late.
make sure at some point after the day, especially in the morning, if you're gonna work out sometime in the day in a smoothie or something, you got to get those antioxidants because it's
Mhm.
not only from my water machine you can get the antioxidants, right? You have to be using a holistic approach to get it where you need to go.
Yep. Jadis, I will answer that one a little bit on my perspective on that. When I go out to eat, I don't ever drink the drink instantly because that makes you full quick. Um, that's something that I see on it. Gregory, you want to tackle on that one?
So what happens is when you eat, your gallbladder releases the bile. The bile is the hydrochloric acid. So if you dilute the hydrochloric acid, how is it supposed to help break down the food when it's in your intestines? So yes, it's gonna make you feel full. So if you're at a buffet, you're not gonna be able to eat as much.
No.
But I'm more concerned about the food rotting in your system, and that's why people are dying early and not living their full potential life. So parasites and bacteria can creep up into the stomach because there's not enough stomach acid to kill them. So that's why with most of my clients, I support the digestion with enzymes and hydrochloric acid. So if you have to drink anything, I do tell my clients to drink fruit juice. Okay. Fruit juice is not water, it won't dilute it as much, but you definitely want to be sipping as you go. You
Yep.
don't want to be, as I said, killing that stomach acid. It's best to wait 20 to 30 minutes afterwards, and then you can have fun. Give your body a chance to do what it's supposed to do.
You're striking a nerve with Jadis about the soda.
Hey, Jadis, I do free consultations, man, but I'm telling you straight, that soda is just making you more acidic. When you're more acidic,
That's where
you're
you get
gonna
those
have
belches. That's where you get all those messed up things. It really does damage your lungs in the longevity standpoint, because the way you consume it, and I've seen a couple of people say this, the way you consume it, it hurts your vocal cord. So say like when you were talking about what I was drinking right here, that's the first thing I've had all day, but I haven't been so used to it. So it's so different going down the pipe that we are supposed to be properly digesting. And that's something that I very iffy on sometimes, because when my son comes, obviously we are going to be having a little bit more soda into the house, because my son is very big on Sprite. With him being on, he doesn't like to change a lot of things of his cycle. So Sprite is like a drink that he loves to drink. Um, I occasionally drink a Sprite, and it feels like it feels like someone's choking me at times, because I'm so not used to the acid and stuff like that going down your body. And you feel very, very bad after you drink these things. And that's something like I tell people that's why I'm very different when it comes to like sodas and stuff like that. I drink maybe a soda maybe once or twice a year minimum,
yeah.
maybe 3 times at the year. Obviously, there's so much soda around the world, so you got to drink something.
But for
I
Jadis,
mainly I've been very adamant on sparkling waters lately.
yeah, as I said, the carbonation, it's not good. But for Jadis, I'm just gonna give him some homework. I
That's
want
why I
you
referenced that, because I was a
I
little
want him
comment.
to go out to the store tonight or tomorrow and get a bottle of Coke. Okay. I know there's other better ones, but I just want you to get a bottle of Coke. Pick the worst pot you have in the kitchen, and I want you to put it on boil. And after you
Yep.
finish boiling it out, let me know exactly what happens to your pot. But with my medical water, right? If you drink 1 can of Coke, 1 glass of Coke, 1 glass of sparkling water, anything that has carbonation in it, it's going to take you 37 cups of my water just to bring you back to even. So, if we might indulge one time, that one time that you drink one thing of carbonated drinks is going to take you 37 times more to get it going, to get your body going back to even, not to healing, just to even. Okay. I had a little run in with one of my family members, and they got shot. And the first thing that I asked them was, what did you drink before you got shot? And everything that they told me that they were drinking was acidic. So if you end up in an emergency situation and you have all those acidic things in your body is not going to heal as fast as you want it to. And I'm not saying that something's going to happen to you right now, but I like to prepare for the worst.
Hmm. I mean that's the best way to do it, because obviously you know how to be alert, stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
a plus with that. Gregory, I loved how you were talking about like stuff like that, because we've seen videos talking about regarding with fast foods and stuff. Sorry.
That's okay.
Um, Lord, she's just like her mom. She's got to be on the camera. She knows when I record. She has to pop in a bit eventually, and she'll act like she never even knew that I was recording. But then she'll go on the TV out there and go, "Look, it's me, it's me." So that's her moment every time. Like
What's
she
your
knows
daughter's
about these
name?
podcasts every single Friday. She'll tune in and try to find the ones that she's popped in on the episode. And she goes, "That's me. That's Bell Bell. That's Bell Bell." She speaks in third person completely all the time.
Well, Bell
It's
Bell,
amazing
hi.
how that works. She's out right now. I'm pretty sure she'll
Well,
pop
maybe
back
she's
in
watching
a
on
second.
TV.
Matter of fact, there she goes.
You should get her shout out.
All right, go tell mama. Go tell mama to do it. I'm busy. Shut the door, Bell. Lord have mercy. All right. So when Jadis is talking about like McDonald's, as anybody like I'm and everybody's seen like YouTube videos, like say like if you left like McDonald's fries in your car, they still look the same that you bought them. Why is that? He struck the
oil.
nerve.
The oil, man, the oil.
Danny,
Refined
Danny.
oil is
Mhm.
something that shouldn't be in the body.
Danny, want my cheese?
Okay, I'll get it in a sec. Go. You shouldn't be eating it this late. My gosh. My child is so stubborn. It's like she'll eat mac and cheese more than anything in the world.
Yeah, we're gonna have to slowly get her into our world.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah, the biggest thing in our environment is the refined oils. So even some of the oils that they say that are good, like avocado oil and olive oil, really and truthfully, I only use coconut oil. Yeah, it, it, when you want to eat something that's live. So when you're using refined oil, it's a chemical process, and it definitely doesn't have the nutritional value. And you know, after you let it cool down, it's gonna look like it's not something that you see on the
Struggle,
commercials.
Jace. But I love how when you said about coconut oil. What is your views on like MCT oil and stuff like that? I do want to talk about some of the supplement stuff because it helped me in some ways because a lot of people have said branched chain alpha aminos are not really good for your body, and something that I used to do when I was wrestling on show days. Obviously, I'm not going to eat a lot because I don't. You want to see that physique. You want to have that look. If you eat, you're going to look full. It doesn't show the physique like how we expect. I would always put BCA in my water, and I would consume that all day to stay full and be. I definitely wasn't dehydrated. That's something that was a shocker. Like I had to go to the bathroom at least 50 times that day.
Yeah.
And it sucked if I was on the road. I'm pulling more over because I can't even make it to the restrooms over there. But it's like, what's your views on like some of the certain supplements that we talk about, like the MCT oils and the BCAs?
Okay, I'm gonna just put it straight. I don't use any of that stuff. I only use the best of the best of the best. Okay. So we really need fatty acids for the brain, for the muscles, for the whole body, for the heart, circulatory system. So the best oil that you can put into your body is DHA, the hexanoic acid. Okay. That's the only oil that is easily assimilated with the body. And when you're eating these oils in a supplement, you really have to pair them up with food. When you pair them up with food, your body will assimilate it a lot easier than anything else. And yeah, I can't really speak to any of other the things that you talked about because through my supplement company's research, the founder of the company, he's a clinical nutritionist. He passed away now, but he was poisoned with 127 other people. And his lawyer told him that the 127 other people died, and he used his nutritional knowledge to stay alive. So I rather listen to somebody that kept himself alive and other people died And
I mean, it's rough to laugh about, but yeah, you're definitely speaking facts on that.
yeah, like the hexanoic acid is the best assimilated one. If you don't have the financial means for that, the next one would be EPA, which is more coming out of the sea. Everything else is just pretty much substandard, but you got to make sure that your source is coming from a verified source. And with all my stuff, it's verified. In 30 years that the company's been in place, they never had an infraction. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So say like if I brought a bottle of Coke, and I think this would answer something of Jadis's question, regarding what we call pop. If anybody don't know what pop is, that's a reference for soda. I got a wife that has to say that often and kind of try to make fun of me, which I'm not really from the South. I was born in Connecticut, but being in a military family, we lived in Florida more than anything. So I've gotten accustomed to saying soda instead of pop. It's just I don't want to reference a soda like a lollipop type scenario. That's what I'm thinking it as.
Yeah.
But say like if I had a bottle of Coke in my hand and I look at the back where it shows the ingredients and stuff like that, what are some of the things that you could look at and tell right off the rip that these are totally obviously we're saying soda's bad for you regardless, but the number one substance that we're looking in sodas and saying that completely is you're putting poison?
Well, I mean, I can go to all the names that I don't know how to pronounce, but the ones I know how to pronounce: sugar, fructose.
Yep.
Even cane sugars. Some of them got cane sugars in it.
I've noticed a lot of stuff is eliminated sugars nowadays. I've noticed that.
But anything that says there's zero sugar in it, it's got a synthetic sugar. So anything synthetic you put into the body, your body has to assimilate it much more harder. Like you have to be putting the good stuff. Like as I said, I still eat meat. I do support, vegetarians and all, but it's not really just the meat that you got to look at. You got to look at does the meat have antibiotics in it? Does it have chemicals in it? Are you going to actually invest in yourself and go down to the European butcher or the butcher shop and get the grass-fed beef? Because most of the grocery stores ain't selling it. They're selling you the one with the antibiotics.
Like an individual type butcher. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it's not about.
It's a little bit pricier, but you will be appreciative of the meat that you're valuing in your body. I agree.
Yeah, as I said, like there's certain things that I just say no to, but when you can decrease certain things, you're definitely going to see a better result in whatever you're doing. If it's just daily living, if it's exercising, even just thinking. The brain, as I said, is 85% water. So we can keep on talking about sodas and pop. As I said, it's 85% water, and pop and soda ain't water.
You're right about that. Totally right about that.
Yeah.
No, the reason why I was saying that example, just because obviously I would love to actually have a different drink. All right, let's say like a protein shake, like certain type of protein shakes. Like I've learned, getting older and stuff, started noticing the actual proteins that you should be intaking. Like, what are some of the things that you would look in a protein shake and you go, okay, boom, that's bad. This is bad. Like something that I have observed so many times now, because now I'm back on, okay, I'm getting on a heavy nutrition diet type scenario. Like I am putting a certain amount of intake that I'm not going to cheat myself on sugars. That's going to be the biggest thing I'm trying to eliminate is sugars out of a lot of things. I love how they have these damn granola bars and have all these like supposedly health nutrition things, and they got more sugar than a damn Hawaiian punch.
Yeah,
like it amazes me. But they're like, oh, but we got these vitamin C stuff in here. You got your minerals, you got your granola and stuff like that. And I look at them and go, that's still a waste because you sat here and have 13 grams of sugar plus an additional 15 grams of sugar with the incline. So you have already put, you basically saying like say like a burger or something like that. A burger would be better to put in your body than that healthy bar because you're putting more protein in your body less than that sugar that you're intaking because that's what builds that bulge feel into a body because
100.
of the sugar is what carries the weight around your waist.
So when I started my workout journey, I did what probably everybody else does. Go down to your local
Bottle of
Walmart,
water. I see
your
it.
GNC or Popeyes or something like that. I don't know what you got in the States, but I picked up this whey protein.
Mhm.
And most of them whey protein, uh, just regular proteins. The first thing that I look at now, and I know I'm not going to buy it, is flavoring. Anytime you got flavoring in it, it's got chemicals in it, and it's no good. And I'm a firm believer of natural flavoring. So I have two products, which is plant-based protein and whey protein that's got milk in it. Okay. My plant-based is only like pea proteins. Okay. So it's probably not as pleasing to the taste to people. So get some organic bananas, put them up in the blender. You can get those berries that we were talking about. You can flavor it yourself. What we're not forgetting is we're not going back to what they used to use before, right? Maybe it's a little bit extra step. You're gonna have to prepare it maybe a couple of days before, keep them in the fridge, or before you get to the gym, just have your bullet or whatever and blend it up. Even in your shaker bottle, if you have a mushed up banana or mushed up fruits, you just add the protein powder to it and your water, and you go. Really, what we've been doing is just shortchanging ourselves with this convenience. Oh, they got the chocolate in there. Why don't you get your own nice dark chocolate, melt it, and put it into the bottle? At least you know exactly what the ingredients are.
It's about the same, yeah. That's about the same.
But yeah, the biggest thing, as I said, anytime you see flavoring on the bottle, I'd be like, no, no.
So
Uh,
basically every protein out here.
yep.
Which is sad now because I can't I don't eat a lot of cereal anymore and obviously we're seeing these cereal brand protein shakes and everybody's like, oh my gosh, we got the Fruity Pebbles protein shakes, oh man, this is so good, this is so healthy for you. I'm like, no.
Like I
So
can say I can't make any claims with my protein, but I can tell you about my testimonial. It helps me put on muscle without putting on the fat,
yeah. So
and
like I've been kind of like obviously I put a good intake. I'm putting like 80 ounces of water in my body a day. I've kind of lowered a little bit of my intake of water right now just because obviously we're trying to break down certain things, stuff like that. So I'm looking at some things regarding
we gotta love them. That's a new generation coming up. But why, when you drink a full bottle of water, why we gotta use the bathroom? That's the word because the YouTube is sensitive. So if you're drinking a full bottle of water right away, um, you have little two small kidneys. So what happens if you're definitely not drinking the right water? It's just gonna pass right through you, and you definitely don't want to drink too much water at the before you go to bed. You want to limit it at like 7, 8 o'clock because you're gonna be up all night urinating. The biggest thing with the water is you should really sip as you go. But with my water, you can just drink a lot, and at the beginning, yeah, it's gonna come out of you, but it's gonna slowly start retaining more in your body, and taking in that electricity that you need. But anytime you just gulp a big bottle of water, two small kidneys, my friend, your bottle's this big, it's just gonna come out. And as I said, if the urine isn't coming clear, like, you really need to uptake your water because When your urine gets clear, it's a sign that it's removing the toxins that your kidneys has basically accumulated.
You got anything to say on that one?
Sometimes you can drown if you drink a gallon of water every hour. So anything that you do in life, especially medications, I always tell people go on to Google and type in what is the lethal dose to whatever you're going to take in. And if you type in water, there's an actual lethal dose. So that's why I have the half an ounce per pound if you're not working out, if you're in a cold climate. And if you're working out, 1 ounce per pound of body weight. So if you start to go over the recommended amount, yeah, eating too much lettuce could be lethal too. Eating too much beef could be lethal too. Yeah, you like keto diet, you might be starting to lose the weight, because your body's using the protein and you're working out. But too much of that, as you can see, could be lethal too.
It makes it a little bit dysmorph, like how, like, I love how when you say, like, well, obviously when we're lifting weights, you do need but you do need vegetables as well. And those are some of the things, like, I have learned from the long haul now, especially now, I'm staying away from bread. That's the biggest thing, and it's been the hardest thing at times because I love anything regarding bread. So, and I love when we talk about, subs or the healthy nutrition and stuff like that. No, bread is really bad for you in every possible way. It's a good filling food, and like how, like, when if you have the calories, whatever, I recommend eat a sub before you go work out, because that at least breaks that down. Never go eat a sub after working out.
You see the biggest problem is that our bodies crave these things for a reason. They're actually
They
your
say a lot
body
of things are healthy nowadays.
your body wants starch. So anytime that you feel like you want bread, because we've all growing up on bread. When I was younger, the first thing that you would make to put in your lunch is PB&J, right? Our body needs starch. So what
That's
you
usually
have,
like my pre-workout meals. That's sometimes if I wanted to with the PB&J,
so yeah.
a sugar-free jelly, obviously,
But
but it
my
might have
my one
sugar in
quick
it.
way of dealing with the starch is making some sweet potatoes. That's got
Yep.
enough starch in it. You put a little bit of cinnamon on it, and yeah, that will help crave your refined sugar and your refined flours. Um, don't get it wrong. Like grains and oats and stuff are good for you, but what happens
You
is
got to portionalize it.
when you bleach it, right? When you put bleach onto it to make it whiter, and when it's stored into silos that have mold in it and pest in it, it starts to become less healthy. So, every once in a while, eating a full whole grain that's organic, I'm never going to say no, don't do it, because your body needs carbs and it needs starch. It needs fuel to get into the soul. Everything in moderation. As you said, water can kill you. That everything is slowly killing us. That's why people are dying at 60, 70, 80. But once
Well,
you start,
we're not finding the right processes on stuff, like how you said with water and stuff. We're not looking at, putting peak Himalayan salt in the water. Like, those are some of the things that we can take acknowledgement to do to keep you going the long haul. And that's some things and we don't fail to do. And I feel like this generation now is just, they want a handout to every possible thing. So say, like, especially when you're starting to live on your own, that's when you start really discovering your body changing, because when you live with your parents, you're getting a nutritional standpoint at times from your family, because obviously your family is going to build your protein, your carbs, and obviously like a little side dish as well. Like, those are your main sources that you can intake every single day. When you move on your own, you're like, I'm not really going to want to cook today. I'm going to go to McDonald's or go to Burger King, or I think I'm going to be healthy. Let me go to Firehouse Subs and stuff like this. And, go to Chipotle. Chipotle is the number one healthy
Chick-fil-A.
restaurant, everybody likes to say, Chick-fil-A, yeah. Chick-fil-A's chicken. You can't go wrong with chicken. And I was in that mindset for a long time too. Like I'm like, it's protein, it's fine. Like it's a burger bread, I'm good. And like I was seeing myself, consistently, and I was eating the Chick-fil-A sandwiches. I felt more healthier that way than I would going to eat McDonald's and stuff, which is a good a substitute, but still, that's not a full-on full-on longevity meal that you need for the long haul. Like those are so many. It's so crazy, like how we learn these adaptions for so long, but we don't take an acknowledgement to find the right stuff to put in, because yes, we look at it, it might take a little hard work, might a little bit hard research to find these right things. Maybe not just go to Walmart and buy your chicken 1 week or something. See the difference with stuff. Like I've noticed, I'm very big on coconut milk now. I can tell a major difference from the milk I'm consuming, like almond milk and stuff like that now, compared to a regular milk. It is so much sweeter. It gave me like a sick feeling because I wasn't used to it for so long. And I'm like, I can't drink this. Like my stomach was hurting just drinking a regular milk.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy to see like what these things do for your body and what substitutes you do. And like soda, great. That was a rocket science thing for me for a while. When I learned that I wanted to consume more water than I did soda, it was a mind control because I drank the soda and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like my chest is burning inside. Like, what's going on? What's happening? Like, am I about to go to have a heart attack just from me drinking that soda? Like, it's crazy how that makes your body so confused on these these things. And like, people just don't want to take that acknowledgement to fix that. Like what we were talking about, turmeric. Take turmeric instead of like I had someone talking about, I had her, I think it was last season, and she was talking about your digestive system and stuff like that. Motrin is one of the main killers in the world in ways, because we sit here and depend on medicine first thing. Just because it gives you that temporary non-headache anymore doesn't mean it's going to affect you. Now it's going to make you leech onto it, and you're going to depend on it every single time. It's like I love the reference, with smoking. It's going to taste terribly bad at first, but you're going to be addicted and you're going to be more accustomed to it because it's something that is going to slowly get in your system to where you feel like you need it. The great substance everybody loves to drink nowadays, coffee. Coffee is probably one of the biggest fat things that you can put in your body nowadays, especially when you do the creamer. Latest newsflash, guys, Starbucks is really bad for you if you didn't know.
The best use for coffee.
What?
I thumbs up for coffee, but you have to put it in the right hole. No, if you really want to lose weight fast, don't put it in your mouth.
All right, let's do this question real quick. I want both of y'all opinions on this. It's a dumb question because everyone knows this. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. Why do we need water more than food? I want y'all's opinions. Gregory, you want to go first?
This is pretty easy. You lost your job, don't have any money, can't buy any food.
You will always find water.
You need the water to survive. Yes, you need the food to survive, but you need the water. As I said, if your body is literally over 90% water, which one would you need more, the food or the water? To me, it's just a no-brainer. You can do a water fast and lose weight and still function. You try doing a food fast with no water and let me know how it works out.
Obviously you got to go to the bathroom. You've got to do certain things. Not having any water in your body, that will cause you to have very bad headaches and stuff like that. And, with consuming energy drinks nowadays, that makes you rely on these things. Like I've had that experience for a long time, and I tested that out like a month ago. I literally just cut out all sugar, like energy drinks, everything. Like my mind was so processed so much better. Like I felt like I had way more energy than I used to. It felt like I had put a scoop of pre-workout in my body. That's just like on a long time. Like it's so crazy. And I tell people all the time, if you drink so much water, you have way more energy than you would from a coffee or from an energy drink and stuff like that. So obviously water is your number one reliable resource to live, in my opinion. You can always find water. It doesn't matter if it's the good water or bad water, but you can always be full on water.
Well,
What do you say?
Jada says, what happens if you're in the middle of a desert in the east? You'll need water. I think Jada should actually go down to the desert and see exactly what happens in the desert. If you don't go and you don't have enough water or gas, you don't go.
Like we said, guys, your body's like a car. You have to fill it up to drive. You
That's
can't
why they got
you can't
camels.
literally like down now. That's what happens when your body doesn't consume stuff. Corey, I appreciate you coming on, man. Jadis, he's telling you what's up. All right, we got it. For example, okay, we got that one already because it's dry. I guess what you should do, Jadis, before you possibly go in the desert, just put a couple of bottled waters in your socks. I don't know what to tell you. All right, Gregory. Any last things you want to say, guys? If y'all want to, like he said, guys, we have the website. Actually, we'll present it again real quick.
Yeah, it's qbwoke.com, qbwoke.com. And if you actually want to unlock what's going on in your body with your voice,
All you gotta
free
do, guys, is
consultation.
just do this scan right here. Make sure you put your birth date, your year, obviously, your weight, your email, your height, and boom, he will respond to you. You could get some answers that you really want. And there's these numbers that mean what the code would be for it. Obviously, 1 and 9 is critical, 2 and 8 are severe, 3 and 7 are moderate, 4 and 6 are mild, and 5 is optimal and balanced. Gregory, before you go, do you want to speak on what these number codes are and like how can you actually kind of be aware on some of that?
Yeah, it's just a little bit about the number codes. As I said, it's not supposed to diagnose, treat, cure, but what it will do is let you know if you do a scan with me and we see double reds. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 9, but 9 is more hyper, 1's more hypo. If you see double reds, it's time for you to change what you're doing. And
Okay.
that's what basically unlocked for me. Either change exercise, nutritional, but the scan will let you know what you got to do. And not only will I show you the first time, but you can have this own technology for yourself too. So I could show you how if that really resonates with you.
You know what, guys? I'll go ahead and do it real quick so we can show an example. I'm gonna take this thing off real quick so obviously I can put in my information. But Gregory, I greatly appreciate you being on today, man. This was super awesome. You struck so many different levels. I can't even say anything. Like the water stuff itself kind of like struck me in so many different ways.
Yeah, man.
I
As I
mean,
said,
it's crazy. Like, so like pink Himalayan salt, and I've been preached that in high school. I mean, in college so much, my buddy, he plays overseas and stuff. I got a lot of friends that play sports overseas and they drink more seltzer than anything. Like they say that's more better for you than the regular water to consume nowadays. Like it's just so crazy on the stuff that we've been told and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a big difference. So I filled it out. Do I click this bottom thing when it's choose file to drop here?
Yeah, I'll get your voice anyway, but just fill it out, send the waiver, and I'll make sure that you get your report tomorrow. It's gonna go right to your email.
All right, I just sent it, guys. Guys, like he said, why the thinking force? All right. Hold up. Let's see. I think we got on this thing. Jace, I appreciate the comment, man. Tino, how you doing, my buddy? You got in a little bit late, bro. This one was definitely something you need to go rewatch back. You've had some questions on some of this stuff before too, so I definitely recommend you check this out. They're all having a really good conversation right here. I'm just going through all the things right here.
Well, yeah,
Jace,
definitely. I'll come back and I'll show you guys some
oh yeah,
more.
definitely.
But I'm pretty sure after you get those reports tomorrow, we're gonna have another show.
Oh man, hopefully I ain't too bad. Like I've cleaned out a lot of stuff. We about to have a reality check to see if
It's
I'm
not
really
about being
doing it.
too bad. It's about actually knowing what's going on.
Yeah,
That's it.
and that's something like how I see, like when you talk about, like I used to do personal training and stuff like that. And the one thing I always preach to my clients was, I just want you to show up. As long as you show up, you're doing half the battle. And that strikes people in a different way. And I didn't charge people when I first trained them. I gave them a day free so they could see what I'm doing. I'm not doing the crazy, hit workout type scenario with them. I'm doing basic stuff for you to understand what you're doing and all that. And it's like, it struck people the wrong way because they were like, oh, getting results that day. I'm like, no, but tomorrow you'll be able to squat. When you tell me you didn't know how to squat that day, when you just use that ball to squat on that wall and hold it as long as you did, you'll be able to squat 135 the next day. Believe me, and I put them under the bar. First time they've ever squatted, they squatted over their body weight.
Yep.
And I told people, I said, it's just the fact that you took care of yourself. You went very slow. The slow process is the best process. You throwing a shortcut is what gets you those injuries. And I learned that a long way too. But when I wrestled I was obviously, I'm not the biggest person and I'm around big dudes all the time. And, I want to be on the card, not marked as a little guy, so obviously I'm going to go in the weight room and I'm going to lift insane. Like I used to be very routine, like I would do warm-up weights and stuff like that. I did for a month because some of the, and I was like, hey man, you're putting on some size, I like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing this way, because apparently the other way was just making me look more cut. So I would constantly just sit here and lift, and then found out I was getting more sore that way. I was being way more out of it, especially doing wrestling. Your body's not taking any time as it is, and then you're crushing it in the gym. No bound that your body was going to deconstruct eventually. So I tell people all the time, like, it's better to know a little bit knowledge on stuff before doing things. And I tell people
you gotta have a good foundation.
Exactly.
So
when you first start working out, do not start supplements instantly. Go and research it before you go and spend whatever you do on any type of thing. And like how Gregory just said about protein, I've been told that numerous times. People think I am so outrageously, people think I'm psychotic. I drink unflavored protein, but I drink it with, I'm totally at loss for words right now. Almond milk, unsweetened almond milk. And it has no sugar, none of that stuff. It's just almond milk. And people are like, how is that even? That is just disgusting. I'm like, but it's good for me. Flavoring protein, that's like you might as well just go drink a chocolate milk.
Yep.
Just protein shake is just a little bit more higher protein, but way more intake of a sugar than what you would get in a regular milk. So it's just like those things. It's so amazing, like how much people are so confused on it. And I love how we're getting more people in here knowing we're about to end this episode. So I love it. But Gregory, any last words, man? Guys, like he said, go to his website, go to his thing, fill it out. You can get it for free. Only free for the listeners today. Only today, guys. So go in there, take acknowledgement. I just filled it out. We might even come back and do a live, what my results was, because I'm pretty sure everybody's thinking, oh, I eat clean, I do good. I'm going to be like a healthiest thing on here. there's some things that I might get downfalled on too. So definitely looking forward to it. But Gregory, thank you for your time, man. I know we've been talking about this for a while. I'm excited that we did this, and we're definitely gonna have to do a round 2 for sure.
Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely fight it out, and knowing is half the battle, man.
Exactly, man. Is there any last minute shout outs you want to do? Also, guys, the links are below. Go follow him. Go follow that website. Get on it. Get on it.
Shout out to Jadis because he's been the most active in the chat.
He
And
has.
hopefully he fills it out before he goes to bed tonight.
I think he's throwing all out the water right now. He labeled every Gatorade product out here. I remember when I went to the store recently, and like I don't usually go grocery shopping a lot. I let my wife do all of it, and it was amazing. Like how I'm seeing oatmeal now having cereal brand oatmeal, and I'm like, it's kind of cool that people are treating them to teach them how to eat oatmeal, but is it really that great for you to have that oatmeal? Is that a good starter brand? Like how we use a reference like smoking. You know, now everybody's vaping because apparently that's the new thing because it's flavoring and all this, but that's supposed to teach you to quit smoking. People get more accustomed to smoking because of vaping, and it's apparently worse for you than the actual cigarettes. And I'm just like, you just can't win. So I love the fact that you sat here and said, you know, you could take an acknowledgement and take charge of what you're doing from using your website and finding out the true resources to that. So Gregory, like I said again, man, thank you. Obviously you got to see the craziness in the background of my family back and forth, but we did it. We made this stream for a 2-hour mark. Guys, check that link below. Go to it. Put your name in it. I just did it. I get my results tomorrow. I will let y'all know. And I know we're going to definitely have Gregory back on in the near, probably in the minimum of the next 2 to 3 weeks for sure, because this was amazing. Thank you, Gregory. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, guys. See you soon.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, brother.
All right, guys. Wow. I mean, all I can. Whew, man, that was interesting to know. I'm probably going to second guess all intakes now. But guys, thank y'all for joining. Jadis, thank you for being very active tonight for real, man. Like you were the constant active guy out there. Tino, you know I love you, man. Definitely going to have to get one with you again. Definitely talk about the Royal Rumble and stuff like that. But guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay in contact with all our platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, Snapchat, all of that, man. We are there. Type in @Buzzing Marlowe. You can follow us. Obviously, you can check us out on our audio platforms. Videos except Pandora. For some freaking reason, Pandora just doesn't want me yet. I don't know why, but I am on everything other than Pandora. Also, guys, as y'all know, this was my second podcast episode for the week. Tomorrow is the weekly episode that always happens every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. I will be joined with the pool inspector herself, man. I am so shocked and so excited to see this one because y'all don't know, with me having 2 kids, newsflash, both my kids don't know how to swim yet. My son is autistic and stuff like that, so he's very sensitive to touch with people, and my son likes to basically hold against the wall a little bit better than obviously to swim better. But I'm looking so that I got coming out tomorrow. It's gonna be really in depth. This lady had so much experience from training the military, from swimming, instructing, and now instructing our youth. It's going to be, I definitely tell y'all right now, don't disregard this episode. Like this episode, if you're a parent, if you're teaching someone how to swim or something, highly recommend this episode tomorrow. Just the fact it's going to just tackle on so many different knowledges and stuff regarding stuff. That's right. Miss Selena Willows will be on tomorrow, guys. I'm ready. Obviously, that will be the end of the triple threat Buzzing with Marlowe week. But thank y'all for being very active with me from Commission Talks last night. A phenomenal episode. Shout out to my boy Dre on Wheels from the 1130 podcast, my brother Eric, the Joker from the Wrestling Asylum and part of the Mob. And we even got the head honcho himself last night, ladies and gentlemen. My boy, the Shannon Sharp to my Skip Bayless. That's right, man. I'm talking about my boy Blackheart. He was on here yesterday. We were giving our take about the Royal Rumble, the NXT show that's coming up as well. Guys, also tune into the OTTR Mobs podcast tomorrow night at 11:15 p.m. Eastern time. They're going to do their thing about the Royal Rumble, talk about obviously some of the releases in wrestling, new free agents, rumors that are going around. Talk about AEW, WWE, basically everything that happened the last week of that. Tune into them on that. Also, tune into their watch along that Saturday. That is out tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Check out the 1130 podcast. Always a great show, man. Obviously, so many different people to check out. Also, check out my boy Jay Lyric on Tuesday nights. The Intimate Conversation with Jay Lyric. You can see him live on Facebook and YouTube. Check them out. I'm trying to think of some more people. I don't want to forget anybody. Obviously, check out my boy Brian B from the podcast. I was on his episode last night. We were talking about Rumble. I did like 2 or 3 shows that day itself, just talking about the Rumble. Basically just really awesome things that are going out in wrestling. Also, guys, check out one of our former guests, one of our own MLW's own Alex, the Boomaye Fight Club head man himself, Alex Kane, on Tuesdays on Reels, watching MLW Underground. It's a new show they got coming out. It's going to be on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern time every single week. Check him out. Check out all the great MLW talent that's coming out. Also, my girls are coming back. TTR Mob Connection. I know they should be coming back in like 2 to 3 weeks minimum. Charcy and Queen, the Indies, Courtney, they're going to be back up and rolling, talking about their pro wrestling, and they have great knowledge of it. Obviously, guys, I've got a lot of big things coming up. We got Super Bowl coming up. I'm bringing my boy Kevin Bryant back, the author of this awesome novel. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl again, talk about some of the stuff regarding his book, some of the new upcoming projects he's got regarding the NFL and stuff like that. So stay tuned to that. Also, man, I want to give a shout out to everybody regarding our show just this season right here, man. We've been killing it. This is the Buzzsprout ratings right now. That was a new platform I just got on not even half a year ago. And you see the numbers right there, man. We've been putting in the work and stuff like that. Yeah, Jadis, I'm rooting for you. Y'all got Gardner Minshew. I'll be rocking his black Jacksonville Jaguar jersey for the Super Bowl for you. How about that? All right. And I hope y'all win it, even though y'all are playing Mahomes. Hopefully he's healthy to give. I just want to see a good game. I think it was kind of handed out to him, but that's just my opinion. But the Chiefs, they're like Alabama, baby. They're like Alabama, and hopefully y'all Eagles are like the Georgia Bulldogs this season. So it should be a really good game, really good, exciting game. Just hopefully. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Still can't believe it. We were the ones that caused the one leg, and we still lost. I mean, it happens. But, guys, thank y'all. Also, guys, if y'all are new, we have our merch. Y'all see these hats. I get compliments about it all the time. Y'all can check that out on our Bonfire shop, bonfire/buzzing with Marlowe. You type in a promo code BUZZ20 and you get 10% off on all your purchases. We have so many different options on items. Obviously, we got the hats, we got the hoodies, we got t-shirts, long sleeves. For your kids, we have a 3/4 sleeves, like those old concert Hot Topic looking shirts that people, I think they're still in the in. I think they're still the cool things to wear nowadays. My son loves his. Yeah. Guys, this is another great episode of Buzzing with Marlowe, and I will see y'all tomorrow for the weekly episode at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. I thank y'all. I love y'all. Be back when I have more down the road. Later, guys.